The Appeals meeting. It is our custom that we begin our meeting by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. If I can ask you guys to stand and place the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First of all, let me introduce one of our newest members to this board, Mr. Evan Bromley. Welcome to the Zoning Boards of Appeal.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And I'd like to take this time to thank one of our other members, Mr. Chet Williams, for his time and his tenure here at Beaufort County Zoning Board of Appeal. I'd like to say that I have gleaned and learned a lot from Mr. Williams, and I'm quite sure a lot of my other colleagues that have been on this board for a while can probably echo the same. Thank you for your time and service here at the Zoning Board of Appeal. Coming back to our agenda, item number 3. Are we okay with all of our notifications, Hillary?
Yes.
Okay. An adoption of our agenda. May I get some, do we have the amended agenda? Everyone have it?
Yes. I move we adopt it.
Second.
It's been properly made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of our January 27th minutes and February 24th minute. Have everyone had an opportunity to look it over? Quite sure we have 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, we got enough.
Yeah, I guess I want to make a motion to adopt those minutes for January 27th.
So moved. Second.
Made and second, all in favor of the January 27th and the February 24th meeting. I guess okay. All right, item number 6, Mr. Martin Snoddy, been here, Snoddy.
Yep.
Been here last week, just give us an update on what happened since the last time we saw you.
So not too much. I had 2 contractors flake on me, and I looked for a smaller size carport, one that was 10 foot wide, and they're all not good. They're flimsy and kind of just not up to par of what I had originally planned. So at this point, I'm not sure what to do. If it means asking for another continuance, if that's possible, or just going ahead and trying to vote on the original application.
If you were to ask this board for another continuance, what are you looking to accomplish within that time frame?
Well, meet with a contractor that could get me something that's not as wide, 10 foot wide as opposed to 12 foot wide. Get him to draw out some plans, and then I could bring those plans in and be able to demonstrate a little bit better what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because as of now, it's finding people to come over and look at things is just impossible.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at this moment, and I'm almost tempted to just go and tonight and get a vote on the original plan, but I'm still a little ambivalent about it. So, I came here not with a real concrete idea of what was gonna happen, but here I am and just trying to take it one step at a time, really.
Okay. I'm not, and I'm quite sure, because I just noticed that you have a carport on both sides, and you said, your carport drawn to scale. Is that the one that you're in? That's the one that's in question that's drawn to scale, right?
Yep.
And let me just ask a question. You're separate taking drain field. Do your drain field, does it come all the way over to the edge of your property line?
Pretty close, yeah. I'd say it's about 5 foot away. When I had somebody out there to inspect it, it kind of bleeds over into that area.
Okay. Well, if it's the pleasure of the board, I mean, you can access to, if you want to, access for a continuance, or you can, we can move on this tonight if you want to.
Okay. So if we moved on this tonight, the consequence of getting voted down would be I'd have to wait a year before reapplying, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You know what? I think just the nature of contractors this day and age, and not being able to get people over, people not showing up when they're saying they're going to show up. I'm afraid that in between my work schedule, I'm afraid that, if I ask for a continuance and I go and I try to get people to show up to the house and they don't show up, I'm going to be coming back and it's going to be a similar thing. So I think I will try to go ahead and move on this evening and take it from there. Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just say something.
Go for it.
You are aware the county recommended to disapprove this variance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just so you know.
Okay. Is there any more questions for Mr. Martin? No more questions for you? Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to have something to say, Mr. Rob Merchant? It's pretty much self-explanatory, huh?
The recommendation is the same?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Martin, let me ask you another question.
Yes,
I mean, I would like to help you out as much as I can, because I noticed that you have some areas in the rear of your property near the pool area, but I guess you think that the irrigation or your drain field, you said, it's only 5 feet away.
Yeah, and the reason why I say irrigation's an issue is actually I had somebody drive on that already, and it busted a head, and it busted some of that PVC, and it was a pain. It's just a pain to deal with. I do like that feature of the house, but I guess I've never had that system before, but it has busted on me already.
All right. And, all right. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, board member, with what we've heard, testimony we've heard, and evidence that's before us today, what is the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we disapprove the variance and follow the county's recommendation because it exceeds the 5-foot setback.
Okay, it's a motion on the floor. Can we get someone to second that motion to disapprove? So no one second, that motion failed. Gotta get someone else to put another motion.
I'll move that we accept approve the variance in the nature that the carport is somewhat of a temporary structure. It can be temporary and could be removed at a later date.
Okay, so it's a motion on the floor so is your motion to stay at the footage that he required, or the
Yes.
10-foot? Okay. So it's a motion on the floor to approve the variance?
I would second that one.
Motion's been made and second. All in favor of approving the variance as stated? So 3-2, the motion's,
And obviously, but obviously I would have to abstain because I haven't heard the case and I haven't reviewed any of the materials as to what's before us.
oh, you didn't get the package?
No, and I hadn't heard it, and so I couldn't vote on it as part of the rules of procedure.
Okay. So we got 3 that's approved, that's for the approval, 1 abstain and 1 is not for it. So, your variance, you received your variance for your shed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, so you just give it to county from this point out.
Absolutely.
And
Thank y'all.
just
Have a good night.
Next on the agenda is, any public comment? I apologize. Was there any public comment for item number 6? No public comment.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Item number 8, Mr. Adam Patterson is requesting a special use to conduct a mining resource abstraction.
Mr. Chairman, I had sent you a letter that
Yes.
I'm going to recuse myself from
Yes,
this
I'd like
item.
to note for the record that Mrs.
Frederick?
Frederick's going to be recusing herself due to conflict of interest.
Good evening, my name is David Carlick, I'm with Carolina Engineering. I'm here tonight on behalf of Mr. Alan Patterson, who is requesting a special use permit to dig a 4.5 acre pond on a 303 acre parcel on St. Helena Island. The pond will follow Beaufort County's requirements for mines 5 acres and less, dealing with depth, hours of operation, sound, and all the other requirements. I'm glad to answer any questions y'all have.
I have a question. Is the depth on this, is the depth 20 feet or is it 12 feet?
12 feet. The property slopes, the highest top of bank is elevation 20, the lowest top of bank is elevation 15. We took 12 feet from elevation 20. So it'll be 12 feet deep on the deepest end and a little shallower on the other side. A DHEC allows you to dig it 20 feet, but the county only allows 12, and that's why we stopped at 12.
Okay. And, I noticed that in your DHEC, it's page 2, I believe, from the back. I apologize. Do anyone of you guys have any questions? Okay. It says that on number 4, page 2, off of the reclamation plan, DX 1500, I think you guys put in there that describe the method to prevent and eliminate conditions that could be hazardous to animals and fish. The mining site will completely be fenced to keep wildlife out of the fencing. To keep wildlife out, and the fencing will be removed once the site has been reclaimed. Is that your guys' plan to fence that?
The property is currently fenced, the entire thing. They're gonna leave the fencing there as is.
Okay.
It's, to the best of my knowledge, the fence will not be removed. It's there to keep people out, not necessarily wildlife.
Okay. The reason why I asked that, because I know that, I think in the previous pond that we permitted, I think we kind of omitted that from being one of the conditions being that it was fully vegetated and you have ditches around there, but, that pretty much surround that pond as well as fields. So that's why I was wondering if you guys were gonna be fencing that pond in within that, what, 4 point something acres, 5 point something acres there?
No, so they can use the perimeter
The
fence
existing.
that's currently out there.
Do anyone else have any questions for? All right, well, with that being said, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you.
You'd like to hear from the county?
County recommended approval. We looked at this as a staff review team, and we have 12 conditions that has to be met. So one, the mine can be no more than 12 feet deep. Fencing, 100-foot perimeter buffer. Reclamation bond. We're not going to use the DHEC bond. Hours of operation, 7:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday, and then 8 to 5 on Saturdays, nothing on Sunday. And they're going to be using the existing haul road, and they're going to sweep the curb to ensure that Seaside Road is kept free from debris. The dewatering information to stormwater at final review, and the monitoring well to test for salt level. And then they're also supposed to submit quarterly reports to ensure that the pond is no more than 12 feet deep.
All right. Any questions for the county? Thank you, Ms. Hillary. I have one more question. Not for the county. So you will be accessing this property from Seaside or Land's End?
From Land's End.
Okay,
Sorry.
Okay.
But we'll change Seaside to Hanson.
All right.
okay. All right, that was my next question.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, well, with that being said,
You're gonna
I'd
ask
like to
for
have someone to,
public talk?
well,
Public comment.
public comment. Anyone here for public comment for this pond? For item number 8, no, we'll close public comment. Open for discussion, or do someone want to put this, go ahead and put a motion out on the floor?
I would move that we accept as the county recommended,
All the conditions, all right, so it's
with all
been,
the conditions definitely.
so there's a motion on the floor, and get someone to second that motion?
I'll second it.
So it's been properly made, motion's been properly made and second. All in favor of approving this, mine, signify by raising your hand. All right, so
Abstain.
we got 3 approved and 1 abstain. You guys have been approved for your mining. Thank you. So you haven't received any information?
When I got here,
Is when you received it?
yeah, and so I'm just trying to make heads up of like what's
Okay.
what I'm looking at. And so I don't mean it, but I haven't had anything.
All right. Item number 10, Mr. Michael Deluca is requesting a variance to construct a single-family home residence within the 50, 60 feet buffer setback.
Thank you for having me and thanking me for coming here for the variance. I just got a flat tire outside, so I'm like, oh man, it's raining out. I'm looking for a 5.8. This critical line on our lot jags all different ways. And the 5.8 critical line or 4.8 shows on the survey that we had done. We're not encroaching, we're not going over the critical line. The critical line has been there for years, and we went to the Frick ARB, and they approved taking the house and moving it forward, so we get away from the critical line. So the critical line stands at 5.48.
You said you moved the house forward?
Yeah, so the front is 19, it's usually 25. So foot lettuce move the house forward to get away from the critical line.
And that's the house currently on the plans, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so nothing changed?
Nothing changed right now. It's a very unusual lot, and it's a lovely lot. I'm the owner of the lot.
So you have 60.
The staff review team recommended me to try to be 15 feet away. And I went to David Gasker, the survey in town yesterday, and we reversed the house. And one corner we have 16 feet, another corner we have 10, another corner we have 12. But since the critical line is curved, you can't have a straight line. It can't be all one. Yes.
And why are you tied to the design of, this particular design of the house? Why can it not be redesigned?
Well, that means the whole house would be redesigned, and that would be tremendous pressure on me to do that. I'm not a designer. I just paid a lot of money to have it designed. The reason why I went forward, I didn't know there was a critical line. I bought the lot. 5 years ago, I was in the same situation with the same plans, the same house, and I was 5 feet from the critical line. It was approved unanimously. I brought that paperwork here now. So it's the same home, 6 lots away. And I'm still looking to keep that the way it is now, without designing and ripping down the whole thing and throwing the plans in the garbage. And it's very difficult to build a home that's only 40 feet deep. That's all I have here. So if you look at the plan, all the bedrooms are in the front. We kind of narrow it into the back.
So this portion here on the river side, that you said that's a bedroom there?
To the front, those are bedrooms. In the back, that's a porch you're looking at.
So that's a porch.
That is a porch. So if we flipped it, we can get a little further away from the critical line. If you'd like to see that, I have it here.
Yes.
You'd like to see it?
So the house to your left and to your right, how close are those houses to the critical line? I mean, I'm looking at are these the back corners of the house?
Yeah, they are. But should I give everybody one of these? There you go. You got the one you can give me back. All right. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, two. Okay. Everyone over here? Sure. I was done yesterday. So what you're looking at now is the house flipped, the whole entire home. And you see that it holds a 16-foot line, it goes to 10, 12, in the back there.
So the part that just juts out, the smallest part, that's a porch?
That is correct.
Why couldn't you put that porch on either side? And then you would have,
On either side of the home,
yeah.
it can be done, but the views of the marsh.
You still see the marsh from there.
So if you're saying if you put that porch on the side of the home, it would prohibit you from your view of the marsh?
That is correct. You can put it on the side, but the view's not there compared to what you're looking at now.
But the setback from the critical line is really important to protect the quality of the water.
No, I understand that, but I have really unusual circumstances because of the lot and the critical line where it goes.
But I know you have unusual circumstances, but it seems like that you could work to redesign the back of the house like the staff is recommending to be further away from.
I reversed the house. I reversed it, so now we're 16 feet, 10 feet, and 12 feet. If I can't get 5, I'd like to have something.
Well, we're trying to work with you.
Sure.
I mean, that's why we're, suggesting if you were to put it to the side, your porch,
Yes,
then you would be further away from the critical line.
correct.
You purchased this property December 2021?
Yes, sir. About 5 months ago. 4 months.
So you knew all about critical lines and all that? when
Oh,
you
yeah,
bought it.
because I have
Okay,
here, this is the house here.
okay.
5 years ago, it was approved for 5 feet away from the critical line.
That was a different variance board, and we don't set precedents.
No, I
with-
understand that. I'm just saying that I knew there was a critical line back there, but I didn't know what I had to work with there. I bought the lot beforehand. on that.
But you would have, aware that it existed, I mean, due diligence, you would have looked to see where the critical line
I
is
did,
before.
I did, and I put it the way I put it now, because I thought it was approved 5 years, but you just told me something different. And I just want to be able to get the house in there.
And, you can put the house in there,
Okay?
you would have to, I can't speak for the board, but I think that porch area, if you were to redesign that porch area, I think it'll be more, the board will find more favor in, and if you were to redesign that porch area, then.
So you mean putting it to the side of the home?
Correct.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I would like to do that. If that helps the situation a little bit, and,
Well, it'll help minimize anyhow.
yeah.
So how many feet is that we're talking about?
8 more feet. Porch is 8 feet. Is that a covered porch, screened-in covered porch?
Has a roof over it.
So it is
It's
a covered
screened-
porch?
screened in, yes, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions for Mr. Deluca?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Deluca.
Thank you.
You'd like to hear from the county?
Well, our 50-foot river buffer is supposed to be one of our greatest resources in the county, and we do know that there are some lots that do need a variance. He came to the SRT, and the house was too big. So he was too close, so we are not allowed to go less than 20 feet from the critical line. So looking at the house, there's a whole lot of space on the sides that the house can be redesigned and get as far away from the critical line as he possibly can. I mean, he should be trying to get the least amount of, the least variance, so that we can have a buffer. We can have a planted buffer and, something that the runoff can infiltrate, and so it's not going all the way into the marsh. So that's why we recommended that he redesign the water side of the house and get that roof line as far away from the critical line as he possibly can. And there's space on so it's not like he's taking up there's space on the side of the rear that he can do something with and be away from the critical line. So we recommend this approval. We recommended approval if he redesigned the house and get it as far away as he possibly can. If not, then staff recommends this approval.
Ms. Austin, wouldn't you recommend that if he should just come back with the redesign instead of us granting a variance for an unknown?
Yeah. If he's willing to go back and bring something back for next month, I'm fine with that. Can look at it.
So are you, the county still looking for that minimum 15 feet?
If we can get it 15 feet, I mean, most of the stuff can be on the other side where the critical line goes out and not where it comes in on this side.
I got you.
Get as far away from this side as he can and put most of the house on that side.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
I agree with everybody by putting it on the side, I can do that, and redesign it as Austin wants, but I can't come back in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I can send the plan in.
Well, will you be,
We have virtual abilities.
yeah, you can call in if you want to.
Okay, just show what we did and all that?
Yeah, send in your information and you can call
Send in
it.
information, we'll pass it out, and then we can set up a link, and you can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. So you wanna,
Can I just see something to make sure I'm all on the same page? So you're saying, put it.
Yeah, since it comes in this way, you try to bring everything on this side
Okay.
and get away from this side as much as you possibly
Okay.
can.
I will do that. Thank you.
so you're requesting a continuance?
I guess I am.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
So all I have to do is send it into Mr. Austin.
Correct.
And then get it approved. Once you-
Yeah, you just send your redesign into Ms. Austin. She'll inform us of what of your redesign, and then we can go
Okay,
from
thank you
there.
very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too, thanks.
Can I,
Go ahead.
if he brings it down to 15 feet,
We really don't need to come.
then he doesn't need to come,
Right,
just
'cause-
bring it to me, and
Okay.
we'll approve it, and then, as long as it meets on this side, 15 feet. You're going, we go by the roof line, so right now you're sitting, that's why I said you were sitting 4 feet. If you bring this over at scale.
Yeah, just square that corner. And what happens if we don't, from here to here, it's not 15, it's too close, it's 14 and a half.
You'd be at 14 feet, so, I mean, that's better than what you were. Yeah, the board, are we willing to do 14 feet?
Are you gonna keep the same requirements in place for the gutters, the
Yes,
rain
gutters
garden?
and all that,
All that
yes.
stays the same?
Yes.
Okay with that.
I would venture to say yes. I mean, I don't know about the rest of my colleagues, but at 14 feet, I mean.
I'm good with it.
Originally was required 15,
Yeah.
so I'm okay with the 14 feet.
I
So
agree.
if he shows 14, then he doesn't come back.
Correct.
All right.
I mean, is
I'm
that
fine
the
with that.
pleasure of the
Yeah.
board?
I'm fine with it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, make a
Okay.
motion.
Yeah, just, can I get someone to make that motion? So it
I
can be-
move that if there's a minimum of 14 feet, that can be a staff approval.
Second.
All in favor of the 14 feet staff approval, signify by raising your hand. All right, all in favor? Yes, ma'am. Any, public comment for that item? Number 11? No public comment. Number 12, Ms. Melanie Whitson is requesting a special use for a short-term rental. Property located at 123 Grover Hill Road.
Yes, sir.
That's my property. Okay. You want to go ahead and let us know what it is that you're,
My husband and I are seeking approval for a special use permit for a short-term rental on one of our properties located at Port Royal Island. We have this little 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that does have a driveway that can park 3 cars, 3 vehicles. And we're in a zone, what is it, T3 Hamlet neighborhood, which allows for it. And approval. mainly on Airbnb platform.
This 2-3. I see 2-3 driveway, parking space. Oh, okay, it's on the opposite.
Yeah, one's on the side.
What's the recommendation on that?
It's not in the, or if it's out, if it is, it's out of order.
Do anyone
Oh,
have
here it
any
is.
questions? for-
Approved, this the.
Okay, do anyone have any questions for, this applicant?
Are you currently renting this out as a short term?
No, we had started yes, we had started a short-term rental. We got the,
Right.
before a business
Right,
license was required.
that's why I asked.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How long have you been operating as a?
Late May of '21.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think, do we need, go ahead, you want to speak? Ms. Hillary?
She came in front of the SRT and we recommended approval.
Okay. All right, well,
Public comment.
public comment? No public comment. Close public comment. It's pretty much self-explanatory. May I get someone to go ahead and make a motion to? for
Mr.
this
Chairman,
item?
Mr. Chair, I recommend we approve this special use permit for the short-term rental.
Second.
So been probably made a second. All in favor of approving this short-term rental? It's been approved. Go ahead and move forward on with that. Number 14, Robert Allen is requesting a special use permit for short-term rental. That we've opened the floodgates for short-term rentals here.
Yeah.
Yep, we knew that was
Other
coming.
direction now. My short-term rental is located on St. Helena Island. It's a T2 rural zone. It is property I inherited from my mother, and we use it as a short-term rental, also on the Airbnb platform.
Have you been operating under that short-term prior to receiving the notification?
We started in October and ended in November because we had found out that we needed a zoning permit. Because before, when I went, they just told us we needed a business license. So when I went in to seek the business license also is when I found out that we needed a zoning permit. So we shut it down as soon as we found out.
So I'm quite sure you meet all of the 3 parking space and everything. Okay. All right. Any questions for Ms. Allen? Thank you, Ms. Allen. Hear from the county?
Staff recommends approval, came to the SRT and we looked at it and we were okay.
Thank you. I get someone to put the motion on the floor for
Public comment.
Public comment.
public comment for item number 14. All right, we close public comments.
I move that we accept approval on the special use permit.
I'll second it.
It's been probably made in second. All in favor of accepting the special use? All right, you have been granted your short-term rental special use. It's Gray Mark is requesting a variance. The side of a accessory structure shed.
The property, and I didn't realize, we had approval with DHEC and then it was not approved by zoning, which I didn't know. I had gotten a permit to move it there, but I didn't know you had to have a permit to put it there. So, they want me, I just need a variance so that I can keep it there because it's very expensive to do all this. And the first 2 pictures that you see is my home, that you can't see the building behind it, which is the blue building. That is the shed. You can't see that from the front of this. But the other pictures are from like other,
Is that your house?
no, it's the trailer with
porch on
This, with the porch on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
And
yes,
this is the shed?
yes. And that's behind this.
What kind of footings is it on?
It's, it was like 520 or something. But the reason why I took the pictures of the other stuff is because this stuff is deteriorating, and my building doesn't look anything like that. I mean, we try to keep well maintained, and I keep a lot of antiques of my mother's and stuff in there.
So how long has this?
It was put on there July 4th, and I guess a complaint went on in November 16th. And my neighbors don't seem to have a problem except one whoever complained.
Did you, do you understand why you're here? Do you understand the size of this building?
Yes.
Okay. And you can only put a building that's, I believe, was 200, based on the square footage of your home, I think it's what, 202?
Something like that, that's what
Yeah.
I was told. After the fact.
Yeah, well, that's why we always kind of recommend you to do your little homework before moving. Now,
I'm
is
not
this?
from this area,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I'm totally ignorant to it, and I apologize. But, I just can't afford to lose this building and have it moved, because it costs like $3,000 to have it moved. It's like a $20,000 building.
Okay. Notice that you said something about purchasing property. You had property next to it or something?
No.
If I'm not mistaken. I thought I
No,
read it.
there's two properties there, it's both families, front and back. My sister lives behind me, and she doesn't care that building's there either. Neither do the people next to me, or a lot of the people, because I've had letters, people wrote letters.
Yeah, we had, I think, a couple in support and probably 5 or 6 that were opposed to it.
Oh, really?
So,
But I don't understand that. Why would they pick on something like this, but then they don't take care of something that's been sitting on Buchanan for 20 years that looks like this?
we don't know them, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand your concern, but that's not, before us today. But you said your sister lives behind you?
Yes. My sister's.
And I'm not, not recommending, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but do you think she would be opposed to having this on her property versus where it could, well,
No.
I can't even say that because
No.
I don't know the size of her home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just too big for one. I mean, you meet the setbacks.
Well, the setback, they said was fine. She said was fine.
I thought I saw where it was
To 2.78 from the rear?
2 point,
Yeah.
from the rear. I didn't,
Well, the 2.7, for her, the rear would be 5 feet.
Plus, there's
Just
people,
focused on the size of the shed. If the size is smaller, then she can meet the 5-foot setback.
people have put in like well and septics around the building also.
I do have a question for you. In your application, you said you use that shed as a guest room?
Well, there's a little room in there if any, like I have grandchildren. If they came over, they're like 18, 19 years old. And if there's no room, I would just put them in the shed. Basically, it's better than a tent.
Because in here, when we got this from the county, you were asked if people were gonna live in there, and you said no.
No, nobody is living in there. That was just like if they came to visit
Well, then they would be staying in there.
for a night, not living in it.
Do you have power in that shed?
Yes.
Bathroom facilities?
No, I have a sink, a slop sink. That shed came with everything that's in it. It had washer dryer hookup. It had, which I don't have in there, it had electric installation, drywalled. It was just all done. It was cheaper for me to buy that than one that wasn't.
Well, I mean, just based on the percentage, the shed is just too big for the property. Based on your home size, the existing home size,
So what
it's just,
what do I have to do then? Are you trying to tell me I have to move this?
based on the county's, based on the CDC, based on your house size, I mean, it's not permitted to be there.
Well, that's why I'm here, trying to get a
So,
variance for it.
Really, you should have a shed that's, 200 and,
There is so much down there that, I mean, I know you guys go through there all the time, that there's buildings constantly that are being put there, and that they're, it's like they can do it, but I'm not allowed to do anything. I mean, there's people, they talk about the tiny homes, there's tiny homes down there on these properties. I mean, when we bought the property, it was a small property, yes, but they allowed us to put the well and septic in. But they're selling these properties and not letting us know that we can't do a whole lot with these properties.
well, who's they?
That we can't do? Oh, the realtor who sold it to me, we were told there was no restrictions at all back there.
Yeah, well, for the home, but I'm quite sure when you just located that shed on there though, right?
Yeah.
You didn't buy it. You didn't purchase this property with that shed on it,
No.
right? Yeah, so
No.
that, the realtor wouldn't have anything to do with that as based on what you're telling me here. I mean, it was just a home on the property.
Was the mobile home on the property when you bought it?
No, we put the mobile home on it.
No?
You want to hear from the county?
Any more questions for Ms. Mark? Thank you, Ms. Mark. I'm quite sure we'll be coming back to you. We're gonna hear from the county.
Oh, whose is this?
I'm not sure. Come on up, Ms. Hillary.
I don't see a hardship. She came to us and got a permit for her mobile home. And I don't know why she decided to just put the shed on. I don't see how I can recommend approval. It's too big. And I don't see anything that's going on with the property, with the land itself. So it's just something she did on her own, and I can't justify recommending approval. If I do it for this one, I'd have to do it for everyone else. And
Yeah.
the shed is too big.
And well, I'm not even gonna say that. And there's no way you could even,
If the mobile home, if the home were bigger, how much bigger would it have to be to accommodate?
She gets 30% of her house size for the shed.
good if you could make an attachment to the home. And that ain't possible.
Hmm?
And good if you could make it an attachment to the home.
Push
I
it
don't
up
think
close next to the house and
Yeah.
depends on what's, I mean, you couldn't have, block your egress,
Or
but you could
make
probably work
make
it out.
that front porch bigger. That shed's almost as big as the house.
Yeah, it is.
That's bigger. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah. It's only like 100 square feet, different 130 square feet.
The shed is 540 square feet. So she would need a much bigger home to be able to.
It's almost
If
a
it was
double wide.
garage, we could maybe go with 600 square feet. because you can have a two-car garage, and it's not based on the size of your home. We don't want it bigger than your house, but, you know. it
If
has to
she
be
had some
tailored.
sort of an attachment,
I don't know how she could attach it to a mobile home.
That's what's gonna be my question, if you could attach that.
If she can get building codes to help her to attach it to the home, then it becomes a part of her house. Then we won't have a problem. And that's-
Is that
But she'd
something?
still need to move it, she'd still need a variance from the setback.
From the setback, I think I could work with the setback. I think that's why I didn't focus on it. I
Okay,
just focus on the size of the shed, yeah.
Okay.
So if it's built where you can have a washer and a dryer and all that.
It's already have your electrical.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't know if you could attach it to your house, but she would need to talk to building codes, because she didn't even get a building permit for
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
So that's another thing.
Option.
I didn't build the building there.
It doesn't matter, if you move it on there, you need a building permit. It's too big.
Is that gonna be difficult to do, to get a building?
I don't know, that's why I say you have to talk to them, because they're asking for engineered stuff and all that stuff.
and the foundations look pretty,
Yeah, the foundation, so this shed is not even set up where it's anchored, it's just there on some blocks.
That's how my
It's got tie
mobile,
downs on
Huh?
that's how mobile home is.
It's the same as your mobile home?
Yeah,
It's set up same as your mobile home?
they have
Well,
it
they
tied
have-
down like that.
They have tie downs.
Like, there's tie downs on that.
And you need to talk
Building codes will
Yeah.
walk you through that.
what you need to do to add it to your home. And maybe put a breezeway.
yeah.
You know, enclosed breezeway. And
There you
cover
go.
it, and it becomes a part of the house.
Ms. Gray, could you come back up to the,
Yes, sorry.
it's Ms. Mark. Is that an option? Do you want us to continue this
Yes.
until
please.
you have a conversation with building code?
Yes, please.
I don't know, you think you can accomplish that in 1 month?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They're not hard to get a hold of, are they?
No, I mean, I'm just, all depends on whatever they.
I mean, sometimes it's 30
Quest-
days out and stuff. you know.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that long to have a conversation, but, they might require you to have additional information so that they can, tell you what you would need to do
Okay,
to make it happen. So if you find out that you need more than 30 days
okay,
before our next scheduled meeting, then, just let the staff know and just come in and ask for a continuance.
okay.
So that's what, you want us to continue
Yes,
this?
please.
Okay.
Because I have, my brother-in-law and my husband, they are contractors, they are builders, so, they're retired anyways.
So you can probably make it as an attachment.
Yes,
So you just talk to building codes and then, we can go from there.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. I guess we need to make a motion for continuance or just,
I move for a continuance.
second,
so made for continuance on this. It's been probably made a second, all in favor? All right, so that being said, any public comment? Old business? New business? I guess with the way we are set up now, we need to come up with a co-chair for this board. And, I guess, you guys got until, I guess I'll give you until next month to come up with a co-chair. So
I
I
just
don't
got
want
rid-
everybody to come up to the,
I just got reappointed.
you've been here for, you probably have most tenure on this board
Not as much
behind
as
me. But, just think about it. Oh, we had a public comment here.
we did.
She was for that,
It was her sister, I think.
Oh, for the shed.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so may I get someone to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
second.
Properly made a second, all in favor?
When is our next meeting then?
Excuse me?
The next meeting, the 4th Thursday, or is it the 21st?
Whichever the fourth, whatever the date is, that fourth
So
Thursday.
it's the 28th?
Yeah,
Okay,
but that's the fourth Thursday.
yeah. Okay.